Okay, how's everybody doing today? Of course, my name is Kent. It's 6:30 p.m. in the evening, July 29th. I'm in San Diego, California, and the channel is Bitcoin. Or actually, I always do that. I always say Bitcoin first because Bitcoin's always on my mind. EOS, Bitcoin, San Diego. So today, I want to talk a little bit more about Ethereum, and I want to talk a little bit about 2.0 Ethereum because I talk a lot about 2.0 Ethereum, which is the latest version of Ethereum that is going to have Ethereum scale to numbers where you can actually perform transactions on the blockchain, which currently is not the case. So you have this blockchain. Let's take a look at Ethereum real quick. Go to the markets. Let me pull up my browser. Actually, let me change my screen so you can see my browser. I always forget to do that. But the longer I do this, the better I'll be at it. I think I'm going to start doing a regular video. Maybe not every day, but pretty regular, because I'm hearing a lot of information out there that I don't agree with. And a lot of people, they obviously have their, and I got a like already, appreciate that. They obviously have, they're either they have an agenda because they are the developers of something, so they're pushing it, or they've made a lot of money from a particular project. And it's real hard to go against that project, no matter how far out in the future it may be. So if you bought Ethereum a long time ago, it's real hard to bet against Ethereum right now or look at Ethereum for what it really is. It's easy just to go along with the train. Just keep it going. Don't worry about the fact that 2.0 is never launched. Don't worry about the fact we're not scaling. Don't worry about the fact we'll never run DeFi with this kind of a blockchain, or we won't run DeFi with this kind of a protocol. Don't worry about that because you've made so much money. Just keep it going. Don't say anything. Don't speak out. Just know that somebody's going to figure out a solution. There'll be some scaling solution come up. Sharding, plasma, some other secondary tier, some other secondary chain's going to come in and bail us out. So they just keep on with this constant fantasy land idea that someday Ethereum 2.0 is going to launch, which I have my doubts about Ethereum 2.0 ever launching. I don't think it will ever launch. I think the reason it will never launch is because you just don't rebuild something on the fly. And there's a lot of things people say to as an analogy to that, but you just don't rebuild things on the fly. You don't change motors in vehicles going down the road. You don't change airplane motors in the air. There's a lot of ways people describe that, but you just don't go out and just change something overnight. Whereas the blockchain I support, the blockchain that we run on with our challenge application, we are developers. We run an application called the Challenge app, Challenge DApp, a little more precise because it's a decentralized application, runs on the EOS blockchain, and we've been running it for a number of years. Actually, I think we're on version 8 or 9. It works out very, very well. In fact, I'll do it this time. I forget to do it sometimes. If you watch this video and you just put the link, or leave a comment, take a screenshot of it, leave it on our challenge app, and I'll give you 500 challenge tokens. That's my, don't thumb up, don't like, don't do all that other stuff people always ask you to do. Just give me just go to the application, download the application, get 500 challenge tokens free. Doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is go to Challenge EOS in the App Store, or the Google Store, the Google App Store, the Google Play Store, and get the application and just cut and paste your comment, put it on the application. Bang! I reward it to you on the application, so you just get and then you can do whatever you want with the challenge tokens. You can move them off the application. You can put them in your own private storage, your private wallet. Do whatever you want with them. We don't control them at that point, so I'm giving them to you without any strings attached. You just get them. So you have 500 challenge tokens. Bang! Free, just for making a comment on this video and for posting on a challenge application. So there you go. There's where I'm coming from. So I'm totally disclosure of what it is I do and why I'm interested in cryptocurrencies and why I make these videos, because we are developers, and of course we are trying to get people to use our application. So that's what I have. I don't have a big stake in Ethereum. I don't have a big stake in BTC. I don't have a big stake in any of these coins. Mainly, I have a strong interest in Challenge because we've worked very hard at it. And we, unlike Charles Hawkinson and unlike Vitalik Buterin, we've actually delivered and actually made an application. And you're the judge of that. You're the judge of that. I'm asking you to look at the application that's in both the App Store both at Google and Apple. It's in there. Take a look at it and give me your opinion. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you don't see a little more activity there or a little more development there than you do with Cardano, than you do with Ethereum 2.0. So let me expand my screen here a little bit. Actually, I found a video I thought had some pretty good information. And these guys got a lot of followers. It's called Coin Bureau. If you want to check out the video. If you check out this video, just skip the first 2 minutes, because it's basically a disclaimer about I'm not a financial advisor. If that is not the most annoying way to start a video, doing a whole minute saying, hey, don't listen to me, I'm not a financial advisor, this is simply, advice that, you don't take it to the bank, don't do blah, blah. When will people get tired of doing that? That is the most annoying thing to do. Start a video off saying, I'm not a financial, obviously you're not a financial advisor. I'm watching your video. I'm not buying or selling cryptocurrency based on what you tell me. There's 1,000 videos out there, millions of videos, hundreds of thousands of videos talking about cryptocurrency. I'm not all of a sudden staking my life savings on your video. Why do you have to tell me you're not a financial advisor? As if that's going to make a difference. I don't really care. Just tell me what you know. Don't waste a minute of my time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of my time telling me that you're not a financial advisor. So outside of that, I thought the video was pretty good. So, yeah, and everybody does that. I think somebody pounded in somebody's brain a long time ago. I got to tell you that I'm not a financial advisor. So now every video, literally every video, most videos start off with I'm not a financial advisor. So I'll do it too. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. Okay, there we go. I've done my duty to society by telling everybody don't listen to me. Okay, don't listen to me. But this is what I've got to say. So anyway, like I say, I'm just saying that in kind of a funny way, because this guy spends the first 3 minutes talking about how he's not a financial. And other videos I've watched of him, he actually goes into quite an elaboration of telling people he's not a financial advisor. Even puts on like a waiter, the butler outfit and says, we're serving you up something today, but I am not a financial advisor, so don't listen to me. So anyway, that's always annoying me. Like someone's going to sue you because of your advice on YouTube. Okay, so back to the Ethereum 2.0. So if people don't know about Ethereum, I'll give you a quick overview of Ethereum. And we actually were wanting to develop our application, challenge application on Ethereum. Ethereum launched somewhere around 2015. I'm not sure when it was first thought of, but I think they finally launched in 2015. And of course, Vitalik Buterin was one of the founders of Ethereum, along with Charles Hoskinson, both who have chains. Charles Hoskinson is obviously Cardano, and Vitalik continues with Ethereum. But these guys both got a lot of notoriety and both got very, very wealthy, which is another reason why I don't think either one of them are ever going to launch a chain, or they're not going to launch 2.0 or Cardano, because neither one of them have anything to gain by doing it. And because they've already got money, you've taken the financial motivation out of it for them. In fact, if anything, if they both launch, there's a pretty good chance that it's going to cost them money, lots of money, and reputation and everything else. First of all, those chains have got to work. And secondly, you don't know how the Securities and Exchange Commission is going to react to Ethereum going from proof of work to proof of stake. And of course, Cardano raised a lot of money. And anytime you raise a lot of money, you're going to always have a little friend following you, wanting a little bit of it, and it's called the federal government. So, and if you don't do everything just perfectly, which I'm sure not everybody did, as we know with EOS had to pay a fine, but these other guys haven't even tried to pay a fine. They haven't even tried to negotiate. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't, but it's not been public. But yeah, I think in that case, neither one of them want to launch, because they don't want to have to worry about the exposure that they're going to take on if they go from decentralized to centralized. Because go from proof of work to proof of stake, you're going to be more centralized. There's going to be fewer people doing the validating. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, I doubt you ever see Ethereum 2.0, and I'm going to play a little bit of this video just to kind of drive that point home from somebody that's got a lot more followers than I do, and somebody that's got a lot more people, probably watching their content than I do. So here we go. And like these guys are, I'll just play a little bit like I always do, just to kind of give you a little taste of what it is he's talking about. I'm not going to violate any protocol or any YouTube rules about using somebody else's material, so I'm going to keep it pretty short. So here we go. He's going to talk a little bit about Ethereum 2.0. not right now. And I do think that every time I do this and I don't get sound, it's because every time I start a live stream, it changes my preferences. It does it automatically. I don't know if there's a setting I can keep it changed one way, but I'll have to set this. I do this every time. So here we go. Internal output, internal speakers. There we go. So you can hear the guy that's going to be talking. Make sure everything's turned up as loud as it can be turned up. And here we go back to get rid of this. Go back to the browser, and let's start. Let's go. Here we go.
For ages, so why isn't it here yet? Well, let's just say that migrating.
So there you go. Here, let me go back just a little bit before I start there. I start a little bit early, a little bit late. Let's go to 4:14. Here we go.
2.0 works. Anyways, it seems like ETH 2.0 has been on our doorstep for ages. So
yes, it has. It's literally been on the doorstep since the beginning. So back in 2015. So we're talking about going on 7 years now that Ethereum 2.0 has been ready to launch. And of course, without 2.0, you have nothing. You have an ERC20 token that launched all these other ideas, but literally does not scale. You can look at blocktivity and see that Ethereum is not scaling very well. Where is Ethereum at here? It's up here a little bit higher. Yeah, here we go. It's, and blocktivity changed the way their front end looks, so I'm not quite as familiar with it. But you got 1,300 transactions. We all know that Ethereum would how many. I was going to look and see how many transactions it runs. I think it runs roughly like less than 20 transactions a minute. Is it 20 transactions? Let's do it real quick. How many transactions does Ethereum run? Get a correct number here. Per second. Okay, let's see what he does per second. So yeah, 15 to 45 transactions per second. So we know it's slow, really slow. I mean, that's like, it's not going to run nothing at 15 to 45 transactions per second. That's like, how many does Bitcoin run? I mean, that's kind of a little bit better than Bitcoin, I think, but not much. And see, Bitcoin's just a store of value. Bitcoin's not trying to run DeFi. I mean, you're talking about, 4.6 transactions, so it's better than but you're talking about running worldwide finance. And I'm listening. That's why I want to make more of these videos. I'm listening to very high-level financial, I wouldn't say advisors, but very high-level financial people that have a great amount of financial experience telling you that Ethereum is going to run DeFi. And that's why we should go ahead and do it, because right now the DeFi space, pretty much traditional banks are you're giving too much money to the traditional banks, to run transactions. I think 2 or 3% goes to the banks just for running the transactions. So now you have a wide open field to eliminate that and put a lot of money back into people's pockets. So a lot of people are saying, wow, we got this smart contract platform. It's called Ethereum. It's going to wipe out all the banks that are taking too big of transaction fees, and now we're going to do it on a blockchain. So we need to buy Ethereum, and it's so wonderful, and we need to buy it because it's going to run DeFi, and everything's going to be run on the blockchain. Well, not at 4.6 transactions per second. It's going to have to go faster. It's going to have to go a lot faster. And these people that are telling you this information, they're not looking at it from this point of view. They just look at a guy like Vitalik and they say, well, he'll just figure it out, or some other. They got a huge development community, and somebody will just figure it out. So they're totally discounting the fact that this has not happened yet, and in my opinion, probably will not happen. So here, I'm going to just go on with the video. We'll keep talking about this.
So why isn't it here yet? Well, let's just say that migrating Ethereum's enormous ecosystem is not something that you can do overnight.
Well, not overnight, 7 years later, my friend. So this has gone on for 7 years, this idea that we're going to speed up Ethereum and get it up to transactional speeds that will handle DeFi. So it's been going on for 7 years. And like I say, the financial motive is gone for guys like Vitalik and Hawkinson, because they're already billionaire guys. I mean, I think I watched another video that Vitalik owns almost $1 billion worth of Ethereum right now. $1 billion. And he's like, what, 28 years old, 27 years old? How old is, I don't know, somewhere like that. He's got enough money to last the rest of his life, especially, in the t-shirts and the apparel that he's wearing around. He's not spending on Louis Vuitton and expensive stuff. He looks like he's modestly wearing t-shirts for the rest of his life. I think $1 billion will get him by. Here we go.
Not only will the full transition to 2.0 take a lot of time, but there will also need to be rigorous testing at each step to ensure that 2.0 can safely.
Yeah, so it's not only, it's like I say, it's like building a project in mid-space, in mid-air, on the move. It's on the fly, whatever you want to say. It's not happening very easily, very well, because there's a lot of moving parts going on here. And you got to transition an entire community to a whole different chain, a whole different chain. Now they're running on a beacon chain, but it's going to a whole different chain. That's a beta test. But anyway, that's going to take years to figure out.
And reliably sustain Ethereum's current ecosystem. This is why there have been almost a dozen ETH 2.0 testnets since 2019.
So there you go. You got a dozen testnets. You got an incredible community, thousands and thousands and thousands of developers. You got a market cap of, almost $300 billion. You got daily volume of 18 billion. You got a billionaire running. And I don't think Vitalik's actually even taking much ownership for this right now. It's being done by other people. But you got a guy that's already made $1 billion from this project, and he's the guy that's the leader. I think he's the one that staked a lot of the Ethereum to get the beacon chain going, or to get the staking going on Ethereum. So there's not a lot of financial motive here for a guy like Vitalik to get 2.0 going. And actually, there's a lot of downside for a guy like Vitalik, especially when you come to regulations and rules. So we're in an interesting time with blockchain, because we've got the proof of, we've got the store value, which is Bitcoin, pretty secure, and I get tired of these guys knocking Bitcoin. One of the reasons why I don't like Richard Hart is because Richard Hart knocks Bitcoin. And the reason why he knocks Bitcoin is because he doesn't want people, he wants you to think it's slow, it's horrible, it's a terrible, and a lot of people, they own a lot of Bitcoin, and they're going to slam the market, and they're going to lose all your money. So he's always knocking Bitcoin, along with Hawkinson. He knocks Bitcoin. And of course, Vitalik, he's always finding a problem with Bitcoin. But then they got their deal, which doesn't even ever launch. At least Bitcoin is up and running and working. And, it's store value, and it's doing what it says it's going to do. These guys, most of them, they will not acknowledge that even though it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of a smart contract platform, it's still working and doing very well, just like EOS is doing very well and working. So anyway, let's go back to the video. And that's why I need to make more of these videos, because I need to point these things out. I mean, we have EOS, which is doing very well. It's running the transactions that will run DeFi. It works very well. I mean, they have built a pretty sound platform, and they built it from the very beginning to be proof of stake. They're not midstream switching. My grandmother used to have a saying. She used to say, "You never want to change horses in midstream." So if you're crossing a stream or a deep water with a horse, you don't want to jump from one horse to another horse. You want to stay on the same horse. So in other words, you don't want to change things around on the fly. So, sorry about that. Okay, hold on. I got to make a quick thing. Just a quick message I got to send out here. If you can hang on for 1 second. Here, other guy takes too much time talking about disclaimers. I got to make time to make a text. Okay, here we go. So we're back to this thing that they're talking about, all the chains, the testnet chains that are going on here. So let's keep going on with this video. Here we go. 19. After years of foreplay, first base is finally. Oh, I love that, years of foreplay. That's good, man. I like the video. I'll give the video a thumb up just for the years of foreplay. There we go. I like the foreplay thing. Here we go. Years of foreplay. Here we go. Go back to the Coin Bureau.
Around the corner. Ethereum.
Oh, it's around the corner. Here we go. This was made. This was made almost a year ago, a little less than a year ago, on November 15th, 2020. It's around the corner. Here we go.
2.0 staking. The staking contract went.
Okay, this is a good idea. This is staking. Let's talk about staking for a while. So, in order to be a validator on the new Ethereum 2.0, you got to stake some money. I think it's well, how many is it? It's a bunch. Yeah, here we go. 32 Ether. So Ether right now is what, $32,000, or how much? I mean, not 32,000. How much is Ether? It's $2,300. So you're looking at roughly what, over 70,000 at 2,300. You're looking at $73,000 to stake on Ethereum to be a validator. So let's go back to this thing. So so in other words, if you want to become a valid, if you want to buy 2.0, you can buy it today, even though it hasn't launched. But you got to put up $73,000, which is almost a couple Bitcoin. So you got to put up at 73,000. But that's not the bad part. The bad part isn't the fact you got to put up that kind of money. The bad part is that it's locked up. You don't get to sell it. You don't get to do anything with it. It's completely locked up. So the people that have invested all this money in the new Ethereum 2.0, they've put a lot of money up. And let's just see the beacon chain. I don't know how many people are on that right now. They're putting a lot of money up, a lot of Ethereum up. Where's it at? They're putting a lot of money up. No, that's not it. What am I doing? Ethereum beacon chain. I'll just go back to the browser, or back to Google. So they're putting a lot of money up right now and getting no return. So you've got this, you got 6 million staked Ethereum. You've got 201,000 validators, and I think some of this is staked as Vitalik. I can't remember how much Vitalik put up, but he put up quite a bit to get the thing going. So this money's tied up. It's locked up. You can't do anything with it. So you're just sitting there waiting for them to launch 2.0 before you can actually get a return on this. And that's killing a lot of people. I mean, to me, the play with Ethereum is to buy Ethereum right now, just the 1.0 Ethereum, and hold on to it. Because that's the anticipation play. I mean, you got to go back to the days of EOS, when EOS first launched. EOS, before the chain launched, when we didn't know if it was launching, they weren't promising it was going to launch. They were just saying that we're going to launch a blockchain. But like my friend here with the video, tons of disclaimers. Well, that was the same thing that's happened with is EOS. Tons of disclaimers. We don't know if we're going to launch a chain. We don't know if it's going to be successful. It's going to have to be launched by the community, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the best prices you ever saw with EOS was prior to the chain launching. The anticipation of the chain launching was where the value was. That's where people made the money. Once the chain launched, it immediately took a nosedive and has never recovered, because they actually followed through, and then that was opportunity for people to poke holes in it and say it was centralized. Although it is up 11% in the last 7 days, so it is making some movements. So Ethereum, the regular old Ethereum, of course, that's not really the true Ethereum. The true Ethereum is classic, because that's prior to the fork. Folks, we got like 3 Ethereums going on here. We got Ethereum 2.0. We got Ethereum 1.0, and then we got the Ethereum Classic. And actually, the Ethereum Classic was moving up pretty well. Right here's Ethereum Classic. Was the fork when someone stole a bunch of Ethereum, and Vitalik said, go ahead and fork the chain. But yeah, so this is kind of a mess. Ethereum's really kind of a mess. It's always been a kind of a mess. It's just a mess, man. It's just a total mess. So here we are. I mean, if you want to make a play with Ethereum, it's probably to buy this Ethereum at $2,300. It's always done well. It's been a great moneymaker for a lot of people. And don't even bother with 2.0 and the staking, because that's never going to happen, in my opinion. A little disclaimer there. Here, let's go back to this video, because I think he talks about that here in a little bit. Okay, let's move up in this video. So right now I'm at 5 minutes. Let's go up to let's go to 8:40. See what he says. I made some notes here because I watched this a little bit ago today. So at 8:40, let's see what he's got to say. He's got to say some other stuff. Like I say, if you want to watch the whole video, go ahead and watch it, because it does give a lot of information about 2.0, especially if you're investing in Ethereum or wanting to invest in Ethereum. Here we go. Let's listen to what he's got to say here.
Moreover, the creator of the project has put millions of dollars of his own money.
Yeah, we talked about that. So he had to put millions of dollars of his own money. So what? You know, he's 20. How old is it, Vitalik Buterin? Let's find out. So, Canadian programmer, and he is probably worth well over $1 billion, and he is all of 27 years old. So, yeah, he's doesn't have much finance. I mean, 1 billion, 2 billion, how many billions does it take to make a guy happy? So here we go. He's already probably pretty fat and happy, although he's not fat, unlike our friend the guy from Hex, forget Richard Hart. This guy's skinny. So anyway, back to, it's so funny because I always see these memes of Vitalik, and they always beef him up. They always put some weight on him because he is dangerously thin. So let me see if I can find some images of Vitalik when he's all beefed up here. They put some meat on the bone here. Where do they do that at? Someone's always got to make him looking like a weightlifter or a bodybuilder. I can't find him right offhand here, but come on, Vitalik. Where do people make you muscular? So anyway, forget about appearances. It's not important. It's just kind of funny. That's why people watch it. That's why people think it's funny. And of course, he is kind of a meme in himself. He is kind of a funny guy to watch. And he's, in my mind, he's a great salesman. He doesn't know it. He hasn't been around long enough to figure that one out, but he's a great salesman. So he sells, or there we go. Here, these are the ones I'm talking about. Stuff like this. This is pretty funny. They beef him up a little bit. Got him weighted, lifted him. They got all this stuff. So anyway, let's go back to, like I say, he's worth a few $1 billion. So his day in the sun has been is going on as we speak, and I'm sure he's kind of stepped aside, and he's the elder statesman now, and he's going to let somebody else do the work. So here we go. Keep on going.
On the line. Ethereum 2.0 staking seems like a no-brainer until you read the fine print.
Okay, it's always in the fine print. That's why I'm going to make these videos. It's always in the fine print. So Ethereum 2.0 staking, he's going to talk a little bit about this.
First, when you stake your ETH, it's a one-way trip. You'll not be able to turn your new 2.0 ETH back into 1.0 ETH.
There you go. So if you stake this in, it's locked up, it's gone, forget it, it's history. You have just locked up your $2,300 a share Ethereum, 32 of them, away in a contract, and you can't touch it. And that's a problem, because if we have a bull run and this thing runs to 10 grand, 20 grand, you're going to be sitting there feeling like a fool because you got it all locked up in something that's not even launched yet and has yet to launch. So you're going to feel like, hey, I bought Ethereum, I own Ethereum, and now I'm not even getting the benefit of this the price increase. So let's keep listening.
At least not anytime soon. Second, you'll not even be able to withdraw your staked ETH or your staking rewards until the launch of phase 2, which is
super clever. Super clever. It's a Charles Hoskinson move. Stake a bunch of tokens, but don't do anything. Tie up a bunch but it actually helps the people that own 1.0. So if you own this Ethereum and a bunch of people are staking for 2.0, guess what? There's less available Ethereum to sell for people to drive the price down. So it was actually a good move. Whenever people start talking about staking, I always run the other direction. I'm not a staker. Why would you tie anything up? Why tie your hands? Why, if you're going to own crypto, be liquid. If you see a good market, take a profit. If you want to buy something else, maybe your neighbor. I mean, it's funny because we live down here along the coast in Carlsbad, California. I walk past a house every day. Beautiful ocean view from their top deck. What ends up happening? You knew what was going to happen. The next door neighbor sold their single story house. They blew it out of there and they built a 2-story nice house, and they blocked the other guy's view. And I think to myself, he lost his $1 million view because he didn't own the lot next to him. So maybe you got your Ethereum, you live next to the beach, you don't want to have somebody cloud your view next to you because you got a beautiful ocean view. So, maybe you want to sell your Ethereum to buy your lot next door so you don't have some monstrosity blocking your view. And now it's funny because it's a beautiful house, the one that's getting view blocked. But now all they see is a concrete wall because they built a house real tall, made it nice. And now that beautiful sunset, oceanside panoramic view of the Pacific Ocean as the sun sets every night, so beautiful. He lost it, or they lost it. The house lost it. Whoever owns it, I don't know who owns it. But they lost it because somebody built next to them and they built a little bit higher than they are. So they lost their view. So maybe you want to sell your Ethereum for that. You don't want to lock it up in 2.0 and get nothing for it. I mean, that's just tying your hands. You want to be liquid. You want to move around. You don't want to have everything all locked up. And so that's what 2.0 is, locked up. So unless you're just don't need the money, you'll never see it again. And a good argument is why I don't believe we'll ever know who Satoshi is because there is a lot of money tied up in the Satoshi account. And if there are people are alive that have any control or access to that account, they'd have sold that BTC a long time ago. So, it's locked away, it's gone. So we don't know who Satoshi is, we'll never know. And there's a lot of money, billions of dollars laying there, ready to be had if somebody steps forward with the magic key number or the key to unlock that wallet. But it's not happened, it's probably not going to happen. And since it hasn't happened, I would say that Satoshi will never be discovered. Although I got my ideas on who Satoshi is. I've talked about that before. I think it's Hal Finney. I think Hal Finney is Satoshi. Either one or two things. It's either Hal Finney or it was a group of people that put it together that were afraid to come forward at the time because, it's a crime. It would have been a crime to come up with currency, worldwide currency that was going to compete against fiat currency. So, they would kill you or they'd put you in prison or a number of other bad things could happen to you. So if a group of guys came together, guys, women, whoever, and put together a Bitcoin, and then they were afraid to step forward, and nobody stepped forward, that would have been Satoshi. It would have been the group. They just come up with a name, Satoshi, and a group of people. But I don't think that's the case because if a group of people came up with Satoshi, the Bitcoin BTC, then someone would have probably claimed the BTC account or the Satoshi account by now, and they haven't done that. And that's a lot of money just to keep your mouth shut about who developed it, especially after the fact it's working and now everybody's accepted it and it's pretty much become mainstream. But before it was mainstream, obviously someone had some real liability by being Satoshi, but now nobody has liability, so why not claim it? So I do think it's either Hal Finney's dead, or it was a group of people that never came forward and never has come forward. I'm more likely to think it's Hal Finney because he is the only one that was active and he had the first transaction. But anyway, we digress. Let's keep on with Ethereum. But that's an interesting story. Man, they should make a movie out of Bitcoin. That would have been a great movie. Be a great movie about who developed Bitcoin. So back to our Ethereum. Where is it? Here we bullish or not? There we go. Back here. So let's keep going.
Will not happen for another 2 years at the very least.
Okay, he's talking 2 years. That's 22. So 2 years from this video would be November 15, 2022. We're in 2021, almost a year later. So yeah, he's talking about another year out. So, if you got the Ethereum 2.0 staking, you're still waiting another year for this thing to happen. And it doesn't sound like it's going to happen even then. I'll keep going.
Third, during this 2+ year period, if anything goes wrong with the network and you lose some or all of your stake, it's on you.
There you go, my friend. There's your disclaimer. It's on you. If something happens in the meantime and they don't follow through with 2.0, you lost your money. You lost your $75,000, or that's a minimum, or whatever money you put into 2.0. Nobody would do that. That would be a very, very foolish move to do. That would be one thing I would say don't do. Don't stake on Ethereum 2.0. Not only is it tying your hands, you got a chance of losing it. Here we go.
These disclaimers open the door to a tsunami of reasons not to stake your ETH on Ethereum 2.0, which clearly drown out the reasons for staking in the eyes of many ETH holders. But what about...
Okay, I got to make a pause there because I don't want to play this video too long. I hear about 15 seconds is about all I can play. So what he's saying is there's a lot of negatives to 2.0, staking for 2.0. Which I firmly believe will never happen, which is putting us in an interesting position with blockchain because we have to have a smart contract platform to move forward. Everybody knows that smart contract platforms will have to run DeFi, decentralized finance. The world needs it. The world wants it. The world's begging for it. It's got to get done, and there's no place to run it right now. There is a place to run it, but unfortunately, it's EOS has been so damaged by, the negative publicity that was undeserved, in my opinion, and by the fact that so many of the early adopters were already bought in and had already done very well with Ethereum. And there was just no way to compete against that. So EOS, which is the perfect solution for DeFi, would run DeFi very well today, is never even in the talk or the mix. I don't even hear people like this guy, who's got 1.2 million subscribers, ever even talk about EOS. I've gone through his videos. He's never even mentioned EOS, which is a shame. And it's a shame because these people, they're so blinded, because all they hear all day long is Ethereum, Cardano, Binance. That's all Bitcoin. They don't hear it. They don't ever hear the blockchain that's really out there that works and does work very well. And there's no reason in this world to look at EOS and say that it's centralized. I know that was always the knock on EOS, it's centralized, but just wait. When you see what they try to do to get this 2.0 going, wait till you see what. Now they're talking about mining pools. So you don't want to sell it to the individual because nobody wants to lock up the 32. And that's basically what this video ends up being. He ends up pitching another idea, an alternative for staking on Ethereum with the 32 ETH. He talks about an alternative solution. So not only do you have the fact that your money's locked up, if something goes wrong, you're going to lose it. You have the idea that you also have to be exposed to anybody else's idea in the meantime that comes up as a solution. So Vitalik, in order to keep this thing going, is always coming up with scaling solutions. So if one of those scaling solutions ends up becoming a good solution, a viable solution, and they pitch 2.0, you lost your money. So that's a huge exposure. So that's the thing. Or if another chain, like all of a sudden everybody kind of starts figuring it out and says, well, let's just move DeFi to EOS. Well, guess what? They may never launch 2.0, or heaven forbid, Cardano. And of all these coins, and I'll tell you, I've owned all these coins, most of them, and not in great amounts. I've owned all these. The one I've never owned and I never will own is Cardano. I will just not do it. I cannot do it. I cannot take it. I cannot take Cardano. I cannot take the lack of activity. And also, I spent too many years, or should I say, I wasted too many years in the world of academic, in the world of college and professors and all that bullshit, to think that anybody that's relying on peer review or academic papers to move their project forward is simply just, I cannot stomach to buy 1 penny of Cardano. Never would, never will. I know it's ran up, and I know a lot of people have made a lot of money on it, and I think that's great, and I'm completely in favor of blockchains and people progressing. I mean, as much as I dislike Elon Musk, I also do like him because he's pushing technology. He's pushing space technology. He's pushing technology, the boring company where he's boring tunnels in the ground. He's pushing technology forward for people to have a way of making a living in the future. He's coming up with ideas. He's trying to completely revolutionize the auto industry with electric cars. He's trying to come up with ways to go into space. So he's pushing the envelope. For that reason, I respect Charles Hoskinson. He's pushing the envelope, coming up with ideas. I don't respect the fact that for the kind of, for whatever he's done, which nobody ever even knows, I don't know what he's done. I mean, I don't know how much of an involvement, his big claim to fame is that he was one of the co-founders of Ethereum. But I don't know what he did. Maybe Vitalik had already figured out, and if Vitalik was a young guy at that time, maybe he just needed to, someone to, kind of be a backup for him, and that was Charles Hoskinson. How much of Ethereum was Charles and how much of what was Vitalik, we'll never know. So I don't even know if Charles has done anything, ever done anything. But he's got a $41 billion market cap, and he's come up with really a silly solution for how to progress with his blockchain by throwing it out to peer review. And then he's pushing this thing to these countries and states, and the guy is just a mess. He's just a mess. He's just a total mess. How people end up, like I say, the only reason people, I think, follow people like him is because, he has made a lot of money, and his blockchain, that never has released yet or launched, has appreciated incredibly, made a lot of people lots of money. So for that reason, people love him. But for everything else, I mean, for for me, looking at him at face value, I just don't understand it. Sorry, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. And, I've been around a few years, my friend. Been around, been all over the place, done everything. Was a stockbroker, went to law school, did everything. I've seen all this stuff, and been in business, had a web development business for 20 years. When I look at a guy like Hawkinson, I just say, gosh, man, do something. Just show some movement. Do something. Here we go.
The 120,000 addresses that are holding 32 ETH. Why haven't they staked? It all comes down to one simple metric: profit.
Okay, now he's talking profits. So let's talk about why the people that are validators have not staked. I guess you got to validate and stake to do you got to do both. So let's see what happens.
You see, it will be years before Ethereum 2.0 is actually finished. Until that happens, Ethereum 1.0 will continue to exist.
There we go. This will be my point for Ethereum right now, is that it's the anticipation play on Ethereum. It hasn't launched. Will it launch? Let's see. That's what happened to EOS. Before it launched, everybody ran up the EOS price to over $20. It launched, it goes back to $3. So that's the way this is. The anticipation play, buy the rumor, sell the news, or sell when it actually does launch, it'll probably go down if it ever does launch. So you don't want to be there. You want to buy the anticipation. You want to buy what all these YouTube videos are being made on. How when I listen to somebody like Kathy Woods, or I listen to Raw Paul, or whatever his name is, or even Mike Novogratz, when I listen to those guys talk, and they talk about, wow, we got this wide open space called DeFi. We're going to run DeFi on the blockchain. When I hear those guys talk in such glowing terms about Ethereum, they just think this, this is going to it's going to make money like crazy. But, that is a play that is years down the road. And that's also a play that may never happen. And, that's if it does happen and doesn't, that's what I'm saying. Don't go down that rabbit hole. Stay in the safe play. Safe play is stay liquid and buy the anticipation. That's why I'd say buying Ethereum today is probably the play.
This begs the question, which of the two is more profitable to hold? For the time being, it's Ethereum 1.0, and here's why. Let's assume that the returns you'll get for staking your ETH.
Okay, he goes into a lot of calculations here. I don't want to do that. And then he ends the video with another way of investing in 2.0 by some sort of wrapped token or some other thing. I don't even remember, because once he started pitching that deal, I could see what this video was all about. This video is about a solution or alternative to 2.0 without staking or without becoming a validator with your 32 ETH. So and that's the last half of this video. So if you want to watch this video, skip the first 3 minutes, watch it to about 25 minutes, and then the rest of it is something else. And you'll get pretty much the gist of what he's saying. And what he's saying I agree with. But he's pitching another way of owning Ethereum. And I do believe you got a couple of years. In the meantime, a lot of people very anxious to run DeFi. A lot of people want to get it going. And they're not going to wait for 2.0 to launch. They're just going to run it anyway. And that's what's going to happen. People are going to get scared. They're going to see money on the table. People want to throw money at this stuff. These big institutional investors want to throw money at this stuff. But you can't, because there's no place to throw money at. You can't throw money at this guy because he's doing nothing. And you can't throw money into Ethereum because they have a really lousy deal, a real lousy deal. So basically the only pitch right now is Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin, I think, is the play. Stay with Bitcoin. And of course, these other guys like Polkadot, he comes from Ethereum. Gavin Woods. These guys are this is all, and then Deutsche is nothing. Deutsche is just a meme. And I heard somebody talking about, oh my gosh, Bitcoin's going to go down. Actually, Chico Crypto, I watch him sometimes. His videos have been kind of steadily, I'd say, getting worse. When I first started watching him, he was pretty good. Now his videos has been in decline for quite some time. And he's coming up with this idea that you can't buy Bitcoin right now because of some liquidity problems. I don't even know what he was talking about. I'm trying to figure it out. Chico, here, let's go to Chico's channel. This guy's kind of a little bit of a renegade. I used to watch him. He used to be really good, but he's kind of fallen off the map. Let me go. Chico Crypto. And then he goes down kind of crazy ideas. He's got some other things, but here's Chico. Right here. Yeah, this I've watched him quite a bit. I like Chico, but like I say, his latest videos haven't been that great. Yeah, the Tether and Binance thing exposed. I didn't get that video. Bitcoin's biggest breakout ever. Yeah, I mean, I got to watch that one. But this video, I just totally did not understand. So anyway, I've had the comments turned off. Let me see if they still are coming through. I'll see if anybody has made any comments here that I want to talk about. Of course, here's Blocktivity if you want to take a look at it. Like I say, they have changed a little bit, but look at EOS. I mean, EOS's record transactions, I think this is, what is this, 24 hours or how many were transacted? 81,594,315. What is the highest that Ethereum's ever done? 1,700,000. So look, you're looking at 81 million versus 1 million. I mean, what's scaling, what's not scaling here? So, yeah, let's go to the comments and see what we got. If we got anything. Like I say, I might have turned them off. Because I just, when people start comment bombing me and just start getting on, just start making comments one right after another without me being able to respond, it's hard for me to stay focused. So, yeah, we got a few comments. So Leonard Gonzalez, how you doing, Leonard? Thanks. Nice. Appreciate you being here. EOS to the moon. I totally agree. If we can just get him to figure that out. Perception is everything. And, you know, Vitalik is like a game changer kind of guy. People love him. You know, he's animated. He's weird. He's geeky. He does everything that people want to watch and see. And he seems to kind of give you that geek factor, or like, you know, he's some sort of genius. I don't know if he is or not. I mean, I've heard him speak Chinese. I think he does pretty fast mathematics in his mind. But my biggest thing about Vitalik is the guy's like 27 years old. I mean, and he's never had any hardship in life. He was a billionaire probably in his early 20s. So come on, man, how much do you want to put faith in a guy like that? I mean, he's a young guy. He hasn't really seen too many life difficulties. And, you know, he's the face of the program. So we'll see. Awesome. I have to check out Challenge Tab. Please check out Challenge Tab. Because we have followed through. I would like to compare the progress of Challenge Tab to one of these other things that are worth billions of dollars. And we're not worth, like, I mean, we're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in market cap. They're worth billions of dollars in market cap. We're not even in the, you know, in the same universe as these programs. And we actually are running application and used by thousands and thousands of people. We actually have users. It's incredible. And like I say, I'll make it, just take this when you watch this video, leave a comment, go to Challenge App, put it on the Challenge App, and I'll give you 500 tokens. And you know, the Challenge App is in Google. We've met the hurdle of being on Google, and I'm sure it's a hurdle. They just don't let anybody create an app and be on Google. They don't let anybody create an app and be on Apple. They screen your application. They make sure that, you know, it's a good application and that you're not, you know, totally ripping people off. So yeah, we've gone through all that process. So yeah, we've met the screen. We paid the money. We paid the time, the effort, and we've done whatever we needed to do in order to be in the app and the Google Play Store. So yeah, and it works. So yeah, check it out, Leonard. I appreciate it. Yeah, Leonard has given me quite a few. You're not on stream? What is this? I hope I'm on stream. Well, we'll find out. I'm about ready to conclude, so I'll find out if I can watch it or not. Oh, you're not on stream. I see what you're saying. I think that stream is actually. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically YouTube. You know, I know a lot of people hate YouTube. A lot of people hate censorship on YouTube. I'm not big enough to make myself, you know, anybody on anything else. I mean, it is what it is. You watch me on YouTube or you don't watch me, I don't care. Listen to what I have to say or don't have it. Listen, I don't really care. Like I say, I've got a lot of perspective, been through a lot of things, been over the years, I've done a lot of things. Either you get what I say or you don't. So that's what it is. So I'm pretty much on YouTube, but I'll check out stream. Privacy shouldn't be a feature of crypto, but the standard. Once PPL figures out that Bitcoin, BTC, and most cryptos are tracked, they will run to privacy coins. I have been selling my EOS for. Okay, so yeah, that's a point. Okay, let's deal with Mastermind. Sent me that comment. how private are cryptocurrency coins? I heard there was a bounty by the Internal Revenue Service to be able to unwind transactions on BTC, on the Bitcoin blockchain. So if you're able to unwind those transactions, the IRS will give you money for your work. You're always going to be playing a cat and mouse game with these things. You're always going to be playing a cat and mouse game. My thing is, you need a little privacy, but to be totally private is probably going to be pretty difficult to do in this day and age. It's with the internet and with the resources that state, federal, local governments have, national governments, federal government, U.S. government, also Security and Exchange Commission. It's going to be pretty tough to be completely. You just have to, do the best you can. I'm not sure. I mean, you can run to the privacy coins, but we'll see. I don't know. And that's a good question. How private is a Bitcoin? I don't know. I mean, and obviously if you want to be safe, you go to a major exchange like Coinbase, all your transactions are going to be wide open for the IRS to view, because Coinbase is going to give up their information in a heartbeat. They're in San Francisco. They're not going to protect you. One time years ago, I was involved with an issue. I can't even remember what it was. It's been 35 years ago, 40 years ago. Well, anyway, it was a lawsuit, and someone was being sued. Actually, my landlord was being sued. And in the process of suing my landlord, they came in and they wanted, because I was farming for her. I was farming her land. So they wanted her records. So they came in went down to the places I was doing business and took all my records too. So they basically, with a subpoena, was able to get all my records in order to also go after her. So I was really irritated because I went to the guys at this local fertilizer and chemical company I was doing business with. I said, why did you give these IRS agents all my information? Now I got to hope I don't get audited, because, they never did. They weren't after me, but they were after her. And I was really irritated that they did it. But you know what? Somebody shows up with an IRS agent, they're IRS agent, and they're, federal agents. Let me tell you, they're going to give up your information pretty quick. Nobody wants the problem. They'll throw you under the bus every day of the week. So don't get too caught up with the privacy thing. Be cognizant of it. Be aware of it. Try to do the best due diligence you can on it. But don't cost yourself money because you're leaving one project for another project because you think you're going to be completely safe in the new project. That's the only thing I have to say about that. I mean, but that's up to you. You should be able to make your own decision. And just don't think you're going to be completely invisible in this world. Probably not going to happen. So anyway, good comments. I appreciate it. Obviously, I don't think 2.0 is launching. I don't think Cardano's ever going to launch. I think hopefully one day another solution comes up that does work, or people finally come to the conclusion that EOS is up and running and doing a very good job at it. So that's my hope, and hopefully that happens. So anyway, I will post, if you go to, I'll put all the information for doing challenge. If you want to do the challenge app, it's just challenge, CHALLENGE, EOS, in the App Store, the Google Play Store. And you just make a comment on this video, any comment at all, just hello, hi, whatever you want to do. Snapshot it, put it on the app, and I'll reward you 500 tokens. And like I say, you have no obligation at that point. You do whatever you want to do with them. You get an address. We give you an address. You can move it to any wallet you want to move it to. You can move it to New Dex, and you can move it to any place else. You can move it to anywhere. You can move it to Binance. You can hold tokens on Binance with CHL. They just don't list the token. Binance has 40 million EOS or CHL tokens. So if you want to take the tokens from our app and move them to Binance, you can do it. CZ will let you do it. He'll hold on to your challenge tokens for you. I don't know if he'll never list us, but he'll take our tokens. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you.